What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So this is different. I'm going to touch on something that's very different, and typically I will be doing these types of conversations on the other channel. But I had to discuss this. I had to let my people know that follow me in the sport of boxing. This is nasty work. The NFL just sent Deion Sanders, Hall of Fame, iconic, legendary, retired football player and two-way sports player who played baseball. They sent him and his son a message. Black man, stay in your place. I'm going to say it again. Black man, stay in your place. That's what they just sent the message to Deion Sanders. As his son, Shador Sanders, at the moment, still has not been picked. Swagoo! You sat there on ESPN, and I never agree with Stephen A. Smith. Let me not say never, but I hardly agree with Stephen A. Smith. But Stephen A. Smith said they sending Deion Sanders a message. Swagoo! You sat there with Dan Orlovsky talking about, no, just 32 teams just didn't value him high. You gonna tell me the New Orleans Saints drafting Louisville quarterback Tyler Salt over Shador Sanders is because of the film? That's a lie. There's nobody that's gonna tell me that Jackson Dart and Tyler Salt film showed them that their skill set is more valuable than Shador Sanders. That's a lie. That is a pure lie, Swagoo. And I love Swagoo. But Swagoo, you ain't keeping 100. You got to keep this 100. You said 32 teams passed on him because of the film. You telling me this entire year Shador Sanders was in a conversation for Heisman? When was Tyler Salt or Jackson Dart? When was they in the conversation for the best quarterback? Cam Ward, okay. When was they in the conversation? So they drafted a player who's almost 30 years old out of Louisville, the New Orleans Saints. A quarterback who's almost 30 years old. The New Orleans Saints drafted him. You telling me that man has more skill set and more value than Shador Sanders? You a lie. Anybody sit here and try to tell me and justify that, you are a lie. A flat out lie, and you're not keeping it 100. This is nasty work. And they sending a message to Deion Sanders, who is extremely, extremely confident in himself and his abilities. And he has instilled that into his sons and his family. And guess what? They sending him and the rest of the black community a message. They don't like strong black men that are confident in themselves. They simply don't like it. Everybody talking about Shador Sanders is too cocky, too arrogant. Excuse me? That's what a quarterback's supposed to be. That's what an athlete is supposed to be. He's supposed to have the confidence in himself. Ain't nobody questioning his work ethic, are they? Who's questioning this young man's work ethic? Who's questioning his heart on the field? He had the most accurate year of anybody in college football. He put up monster numbers. If it wasn't for his teammate in Travis Hunter, he probably would have came in 2 or 3 in the Heisman. Switch schools. You gonna tell me this ain't about his confidence in two black and confident black men? You a lie. This is a message from the good old boys in the NFL. Them owners in the NFL, them good old boys in the NFL, they made them drop. Eli Manning didn't put up monster numbers with the New York Giants and in college. He had a family history and family pedigree. He was good. But monster numbers? No. Eli Manning couldn't run. They talking about Shador Sanders can't run. Eli Manning couldn't run. See, here's the difference between the Mannings. See, when Deion Sanders said he gonna be stern and he knows the business, and there's some ownership that simply ain't the best, and he don't want his sons to fall into their hands like Archie Manning did with his sons, but Archie Manning got the complexion for the protection. Archie Manning's a Hall of Famer. He ain't never reached the level of Deion Sanders in the NFL, ever. Deion Sanders changed the game. What's the difference? One is black and one is Caucasian. That's the difference. When Archie Manning said, hey, I don't want my son going to the San Diego Chargers or wherever he want Eli Manning to go to, right? Nobody had a problem with it. Eli Manning ended up going to the Giants. Why didn't the Giants draft Shador Sanders? Question. When Peyton Manning was going to come out and the New York Jets, which is a dumpster fire, Peyton Manning was going to come out, he was going to be the #1 pick. Bill Parcells made it abundantly clear. If Peyton Manning comes out, he's going to be my #1 pick. I'm taking Peyton Manning. What did Archie Manning do? He told Peyton, stay in school. We ain't letting you go to the New York Jets. That's a dumpster fire. Stay in school. So Peyton stayed in school, and they tried to make it about him having an unfinished business, and he still didn't win. And I personally, I'm one on record to say that I think Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback to ever play. Right? So he told him, stay in school. You ain't going to the Jets. No, sir. Jets is a dumpster fire. Stay in school. Peyton Manning stayed in school. And didn't win the Heisman and didn't win the championship. Didn't beat Florida. Nobody had no issues with that. Came out, still was the #1 pick by the Indianapolis Colts. What's the difference? They got the complexion for the protection. Point blank and period. This is nasty work. Tyler Salt and Jackson Dart. The New York Giants traded up to throw it in their face. Let me show you how the New York Giants threw it in their face to let them know. They traded back into round 1, right? To draft Jackson Dart when there was no other threat to draft Jackson Dart. There was no other threat to draft the quarterback. But they made sure they jumped back in to draft Jackson Dart. Why? To throw it in their face. Point blank and period. Some message being sent to Deion Sanders and the rest of the black community and anybody else, black celebrities that have power. This is to show you ain't got no power. Period. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, or one word, I'm gone. Peace.